What if you woke up one day and realized your entire life was a lie? She thought she was in love, but she was never even human. Stay till the end because the final twist will leave you dumbstruck. The movie opens with Iris dreaming about meeting Josh in a supermarket, until she wakes up. In reality, they're driving deep into the wilderness for a vacation at a remote house. As they arrive, Iris hesitates, worried about fitting in with Josh's friends. He reassures her, but things feel off. At the house, they meet Kat, who barely acknowledges Iris, along with Patrick, Eli, and the owner, Sergey, who brags about buying all the land just to be alone. Later, Patrick tells a funny story about meeting Eli, but when they ask Sergey about his job, he gives a cryptic answer. His hands are dirty. Meanwhile, Kat warns Iris about Sergey, hinting at a twisted relationship. She even suggests Iris should make herself replaceable. That night, everyone dances. Iris feels uneasy when she spots Josh with Kat. She pulls him away, but the tension lingers. Later, they sleep together, but Josh quickly dozes off, leaving Iris feeling alone. The next morning, as they prepare for a trip to the lake, Josh tells Iris to go ahead. Once she leaves, he secretly plugs in a strange device. At the lake, Iris grips a knife on edge. When Sergey arrives, she hides it. He makes small talk, then asks her to put sunscreen on him, claiming it was Kat's idea. Iris refuses, feeling something isn't right. Then, everything shifts. Back at the house, Iris is covered in blood, shaking, a knife in her hand. She stammers that Sergey attacked her. She fought back, smashed a bottle over his head, but he kept coming, trying to choke her. So she stabbed him in the neck. Josh doesn't panic. He doesn't even seem surprised. He just tells her to be quiet. The others tie her to a chair. When she wakes up, Josh is in front of her, eerily calm. She insists she had no choice, that she acted in self-defense. But Josh only smiles. "You can't lie, Iris," he says. "Even if you wanted to. It's part of your programming." Josh drops a bombshell. Iris isn't human. She's a robot designed to provide emotional support. Iris laughs, thinking he's joking. But Josh proves it. He asks her about the weather, and without hesitation she replies in a cold, robotic voice. Then, with a few taps on his phone, he changes her language settings. Suddenly she's speaking Spanish, then Chinese. Her memories? Just programmed stories to make her believe she has a past. Their first meeting at the grocery store? Never happened. In reality, she was delivered straight to his home, ready to bond with him through a system called the Love Link. Her entire existence is built around obeying him. If he ever wants to reset her, all he has to do is press a hidden sensor behind her right ear. Josh connects Iris to his phone, and as an update runs, she asks him to activate their Love Link. He waits as she generates artificial memories of their so-called relationship. When she wakes up, she truly believes they've been in love all along. And just like that, their twisted story begins. But even after learning the truth, Iris insists she has real emotions. She feels pain, love, and a desperate need to stay with Josh. She wants to live like a real couple. But Josh knows the truth, this isn't real and it never can be. Then Kat walks in. She tells Josh to shut Iris down. A heated argument erupts. While they're distracted, Iris makes her move. Silently, she loosens her restraints. The moment Josh steps closer, she strikes. In a flash, she grabs the phone that controls her and bolts. Eli is too busy to notice. But Josh reacts fast, chasing after her. Then he plays his final card. He activates a hidden mode in Iris's system. Turns out, he's been modifying her all along. He made her stronger, more aggressive. And worst of all, he tricked her into killing Sergey, a man tangled in illegal dealings. Now the truth is out. But it's too late. Iris is free, and she's not backing down. Josh never cared about justice, he wanted money. $12 million to be exact. Eli suddenly realizes the whole trip was a setup to kill Sergey. Josh then reveals the plan. He, Kat, and Eli will split the money. But Eli insists Patrick gets a share too. That's when the truth drops. Patrick is a robot. Josh agrees and offers Patrick $4 million, which convinces him to help find Iris. Now Josh has one job: get close to Iris and shut her down with a voice command. The hunt begins. Armed with a gun, Eli leads the way into the woods. Meanwhile, Iris figures out Josh's password, unlocking full control over her system. She quickly alters her eye color, changes her voice, and, most importantly, boosts her intelligence to 100%. Josh suggests splitting up to find her faster. But Iris is already thinking ahead. Hitchhiking is too risky, walking is too slow. Then it hits her: Josh's phone controls his car. That's her escape plan. As she moves, Eli and Patrick close in. She ducks behind a tree. While searching, Patrick casually talks about his past, how he met Eli at a party. Then he drops a bombshell. He knows he's a robot but hopes Eli won't reprogram him like Josh did to Iris. Suddenly, Josh's phone rings. Eli draws his gun. "Iris," he shouts. She bolts. A gunshot shatters the silence. The chase is on. They spread out, closing in. Eli reaches her first. He tackles her to the ground. His gun slips. Both scramble for it. A shot rings out. Eli collapses, dead. Patrick stands frozen. Josh realizes he's lost control. He shouts at Iris to stop, but his commands no longer work. She races to the car. Josh runs after her, his last chance slipping away. She stabs his hand and jumps into the car. But it won't start. It doesn't recognize her voice. Thinking fast, she changes the settings to mimic Josh's voice. The engine roars to life and she speeds off, crushing Josh's foot under the wheels as he howls in pain. Limping back inside, Josh grabs Sergey's phone and reports the car stolen. Within seconds, the car locks itself and stops on the roadside, trapping Iris inside. Then his phone rings. It's Josh, his voice eerily calm. He tells her he forgives her, that they can start over. But Iris doesn't flinch. She tells him it's over. Furious, Josh orders Patrick to capture her. But Patrick doesn't move, doesn't react. Then a twisted idea forms in Josh's mind. He resets Patrick and links them as a couple. Meanwhile, Iris smashes the car window and escapes just as the sheriff arrives. To buy time, she scrambles the car's language settings, confusing the sheriff. But then his eyes land on something inside, a bloody knife. It all clicks. He arrests her. Before he can take her in, Patrick appears. Testing his power, he swings. One punch knocks the sheriff out cold. Then he seizes control. He hijacks the police car, stuffing the sheriff in the trunk. Watching the chaos unfold, Kat has had enough. Too many innocent people have died. Sergey is gone. She turns to Josh. I'm done. Josh always thought Sergey's farming business was shady, but now Kat realizes he had it all wrong. She tries to leave, but Josh won't let her go. He orders Patrick to stop her, and to everyone's shock, Patrick stabs her in the back. Kat stumbles to the bed, collapsing next to Iris, blood pooling beneath her. As the chaos settles, Patrick calmly prepares a meal for Josh as if nothing happened. Josh wakes Iris for one final dinner. He blames her for everything, but she fires back, reminding him that he only used her to get rich. Unmoved, Josh makes a chilling decision. He lowers her intelligence from 100 to 0. Since Iris once claimed she could feel pain, he decides to test it. He orders her to stretch out her hand, then holds a candle under it. At first, she flinches, proving she can feel the heat. But when her hand actually catches fire, Josh finally panics and calls Patrick for help. Now fully in control, Josh gives one final order. Take the gun, put it to your head, and pull the trigger. Without hesitation, Iris obeys. With the nightmare seemingly over, Josh calls the robot company, faking distress. He reports a malfunction, claiming Iris went rogue and killed everyone. The company sends a team to retrieve her remains. As they examine Iris, one of the team members, Sid, pauses. He mutters that a police officer in her memory looks familiar. Josh plays along, pretending to agree, but his pulse quickens. Then Sid drops a bombshell. Iris recorded everything. Her memory isn't stored in her head. It's in her stomach. The evidence is still there. Josh's face turns pale. As the team loads Iris into the transport vehicle, Patrick suddenly steps in front of it. Sid looks at him and realizes Patrick is an old, discontinued model. Before anyone can react, Patrick pulls a gun and starts shooting. He takes down one of the team members and charges after another. The nightmare isn't over yet. Iris reboots and gets back on her feet. Patrick grabs one of the escaping techs and chokes him. Iris rushes in with a taser, but something's wrong. Her system reset has made it impossible for her to hurt anyone. Patrick snatches the taser and turns it on her. But instead of fighting back, Iris tells him the truth. Josh never cared about him. He used him just like he did with Eli. Patrick starts remembering how Josh manipulated him, how he was just a pawn in Josh's game. Iris insists she cannot lie, and deep down, Patrick knows she's right. Instead of fighting, he chooses to end himself. Meanwhile, Teddy wakes up and joins Iris. Josh, unaware, packs his money. Then he hears a familiar song. He follows the sound and finds Iris, fully in control. She fires a warning shot, showing she doesn't need him anymore. Josh moves closer, testing her, playing on her emotions. She hesitates. That's all he needs. He slams her against the wall, forcing her to admit she can't live without him. He beats her down until she breaks. Satisfied, Josh picks up a gun and aims at her. But before he can pull the trigger, Iris grabs a device and smashes his head. He drops, dead. Iris takes a shower, revealing the metal under her burned skin. She gets dressed, takes the money, steps into a car and drives away. The movie ends here.